Welcome back to Forza Horizon 4, guys. In today's video, we're going to be jumping into the Forza Horizon 4 series updates and talking all about the almost lack of updates that have been coming to Forza Horizon 4 recently. So if you've been playing Horizon 4 recently, you might have noticed that there's genuinely been a lack of new stuff to go and do in the game. Take this month's brand new update that actually releases today. It doesn't actually include anything new, which is really disappointing. Of course, there's your usual bunch of brand new cars, which is awesome. However, in terms of like features, there's actually nothing. No painting, no events, no new driving stuff, just nothing. It's kind of boring. If we jump back to last month, it was actually the same thing there as well. The only thing we got with that new update was the Lego barn find, and the only reason that we got the Lego barn find last month is because they wanted to line the barn find up in the game with the release of the real-life Lego car. It's only when you jump another month back you check out the Forza Horizon 4 Top Gear story. And to be fair, I think every single person who played it can all agree that it was absolutely amazing, but it's almost the lack of updates that is not so amazing. Now, I'm obviously not saying that I expect a Top Gear story every single month. No, that would be unrealistic because they take so much work, so much time goes into them. Also, dealing with partners and licensing, it is so much more work than I think people almost think that goes into those stories. So I'm not asking for one of those every month. What I am asking for, however, is some new features, maybe even using some old features that are already in the game, taking what's there and making it a little bit better. One, it'll save a lot of time, and two, people will already sort of be familiar with how everything works. So what exactly can Forza Horizon 4 do? Well, I jumped into our Discord server and I asked a bunch of you guys, and together we came up with a bunch of very cool suggestions. By the way, if you do want to come and join our Discord server, there is a link down below. If you want to come talk with me, play a bunch of Forza games, you know what you gotta do. Link is down below. Now, I won't be mentioning huge things like, oh, I want a new world to go and drive in, or, oh, I need 10,000 new body kits. Things like that, that's new content. That's all fresh new stuff. I want to take things that are already there and adapt them. For example, something as small as taking the headlights on your car and turning them on and off manually. Obviously, the ability to turn headlights is already in the game in Forza Horizon 4 because when the sun sets, your lights on your car turn on. Duh. Not to mention, the ability to turn on and off your lights is already in the photo mode. So it's already there. It's just we don't have a physical button to press when we're actually driving around in our car. Whether it be holding something down on the D-pads and the lights either toggle on or toggle off, I feel like something small like that would be super cool and add something new to the game. Now, it doesn't sound like something huge, but it would be something to make us feel more a part of our car. And for example, say we're playing one of our mini games like hide and seek, it would make a huge difference. The same thing goes for game modes already in the game, like Infection. If you're playing that and you turn your lights off really quick, as you whip it around a corner, you can probably get away from somebody. I honestly feel that anything any car game can do to make you feel more in control of your car will always be a welcome feature, and something as small as turning on and off your lights manually would be a step in the right direction. The same thing also goes for using your convertible roofs. Fun fact, actually, the majority of the convertible cars in Forza Horizon 4 actually have an option to take the roof down, and it's already animated. If you jump into Forza Vista and you go to the roof, you will physically see the roof come down. It's crazy that it's already there, but we can't manually control it. Again, giving us a toggle switch on the D-pad would just be a super cool thing to do to, again, let us feel more in control of these cars we're driving. Now, I know that there's been a lot of talk also from people asking about turn signals. We got this a lot on Discord. The problem with turn signals is that they're not already actually in the game. Convertible roofs and turning your lights on and off, those are both already in the game. Turn signals, for all of the cars you're driving around, they don't actually have turn signals already in the game, which means for them to add turn signals in, they would need to go to each and every single one of the cars and add them in individually. It just wouldn't make sense to spend time doing that. When you compare that to something like the convertible roofs or turning your lights on and off, which is already a thing in the game, I feel like I know which one of those two they would probably prioritize. Anyways, let's move it on from that one to another suggestion from Discord. One of you guys suggested, why don't you be able to place your own PR stunt? Obviously, in Forza Horizon 4, you've got your drift zones, your speed zones, and so on and so forth. Say you're in a private lobby with some of your buddies and you're like, hey, I wonder who could do the best drift score around this particular corner. You chuck down your own little route, your own drift zone, and you go head to head on this corner. Obviously, drift zones are already in the game. You literally just need a start point and an end point and some barriers, and that would really be it. I feel like it would definitely add some life to some things that people already enjoy doing. You could also maybe download other people's PR stunts. I feel like that would be really cool. Then you could have your own leaderboards. I feel like it would be so sick. Obviously, this suggestion involves quite a bit more work than turning your lights on and off, but I feel like it would be really, really cool. Anyways, another really cool thing that's actually already in the game and you might not actually realize it is pink slips in Forza Horizon 4. Sort of, kinda. Pink slips, for those of you who don't know, is basically a 1v1 race, and the person who wins gets the loser's car. Well, if you've played the Lego expansion already, this is actually a thing. When you're going head-to-head, the McLaren Senna versus the McLaren Senna in Lego, that's actually how you win that car. So I'm just saying, how cool would it be if Forza Horizon 4 added in some head-to-head pink slip battles, almost like a tree that you have to get through all these different racers, and you're winning like some really cool cars. Obviously, there's a bunch of cars in Forza Horizon 4 that are very, very highly still in demand. If you just did some pink slip races for them, I feel like that would be a really, really cool way to do it. Not to mention, pink slip races is something people have been asking for a very, very long time, and is something that's already in the game, sort of, kind of. So some head-to-head battles with some AI would be awesome to win some really, really cool cars. So that's enough of that. Let's move it on to one of my personal suggestions. You might have seen the recent edition of Drift Adventure, and in all honesty, it's actually probably one of my favorite things to do in Forza Horizon 4 when I'm playing alone. One of my suggestions would be a drift adventure in a private lobby. How cool would it be if you have a lobby of 12 people, you go to a race course, because obviously you need a track for the drift adventure stuff, you set a time limit, you restrict the car class, and you all go out to find out which one of your friends is the best drifter. Obviously, drift adventure is already in the game. We would just need a setting to be able to actually set up our own private drift races. I honestly think this would be huge and would change the way a lot of people play Forza Horizon 4. You might have seen on YouTube and on Twitch here, the Elgato Racing Championship. We recently wrapped up Season 7 here on YouTube with our good old friend, Grandma Driving. The Elgato Championship is actually one of, if not the most viewed Forza like competitive driving series online, which is insane. And my idea for Season 8 was to actually go and do our first competitive drifting event. I thought it would be a pretty clear-cut thing. Oh, we've got Drift Adventure now. It's just a matter of time before they add private drifting lobbies into the game. However, they've not done that yet. So I'm just saying, please, 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 Forza Horizon 4 devs, Playground Games, please add the ability to do your own private lobby drift adventure in your own session with 12 of your friends, set up your own restrictions, set up your own courses, even be able to use your own blueprinted courses. I feel like it would be so, so cool. I also quickly wanted to mention the ability to paint your brake calipers. I know this has been a big question for a lot of people. However, Forza's actually come out and said that it's not possible because they would have to go to every single car and basically add the ability to paint the brake calipers. However, I don't actually think that that's true. How about if we only got the option to paint the race brake upgrade that is already in Forza Horizon 4. For those of you who don't know, it actually already has a red paint job on it, and it's actually the same brake caliper on every single car in the game. So I'm just saying, Forza, all we would really need if you wanted us to paint our brake calipers would be like a hue slider on the already existing red brake race calipers that are already in the game. I'm just saying, I feel like that would be a shortcut around individually painting every single brake caliper in the game. And now our last and final point for today. Blueprint. Now, in all fairness, Forza is actually going in a future update, apparently Series 14, and going in and making some changes to the way blueprints work. You'll be able to edit and add checkpoints after you finish the race, which is pretty cool. However, I'm still waiting for the ability to add props into my blueprint races. Obviously, these are a thing that's already in the game. Take a look at the cross-country events, for example, and you'll actually see ramps in those events. How cool would it be to go and place props all around the map? It would completely add a whole new level of the types of races that you can go and do. You would finally actually be able to go and do like assault-style courses where you have to combat stunts and things like that. It would be so sick. I've been honestly waiting for it ever since Blueprint actually came out a little while ago. However, please, 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 please consider it. I'm just saying as well, props mixed with a private drift adventure on your own private course, jump drifting with 12 of your friends in a race. How good does that sound? Anyways, that's where I'm gonna leave things for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Those are some of my things that I feel like Forza could implement based off features that we've already got in the game. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think Forza could add to the game based off things that are already there. There is actually some very, very cool Forza stuff coming out over the next coming days, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And until then, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon with some very cool Forza Horizon 4 stuff. See you guys then. Bye!